Let this sit here for a second. Let some people come in. Alright, what's going on, everybody? I'm just doing a little sweeping real quick. Trying to clean up a little bit of the mess. So we've been running for 24 hours now. And today is play day. We get to mess around and adjust some different things. You can see that we got a splash zone here overnight. Almost covers the whole spot. And we can easily change this splash zone by simply moving the log a little bit, letting that water hit that log a little differently to make a different splash. Heard something outside, right? I think that was. Now we got a little basil, got a little organic basil that my wife picked up from Trader Joe's. She was like, "Here, put this in your new garden so we can have some basil." And I've had a sweet potato sitting on my kitchen countertop for that long. And I thought, I know these things can get crazy. I'm fully aware of that. We can always get crazy with it. Just pull it up if we want to. I'm not going to treat this garden or food bed like that bed over there. This is going to be a little bit different. I mean, I will be, maybe pulling some roots out, like a potato or something. I'll have to pull a potato out, or, if we have to dig around in the soil a little bit, we will. Not too much of a big deal. I've learned that microbes set up shop really fast. Here's the other splash zone here. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, I was thinking potatoes would be quick. I'm looking for things that are going to throw roots really fast. Like over here in the other garden, these empress trees. That's what these are. I mean, they just throw roots, and they spread underneath. So this was first, and then these came, and then this came, and then that down there came, and then over there, and then over there. They just spread all over the place, which is cool. That's what I want. I want those roots to be in the soil, spreading all the time. So I'm going to set this right here. I'm going to finish sweeping real quick. Set this right here, and y'all can enjoy that just for a second. And then we're going to be placing some rocks. We're going to plant our basil, probably plant our potato. I've got a whole other thing over here. I've got a bucket of rock here. I went out and I found some star moss, which is pretty cool. We're going to put that on the edge of the creek. And then I've got some creek. I don't even know what this is, actually. I don't even know. It might be some type of, like that, I think it's wild, like they call them wild strawberries. You get these little red berries on them. I gotta finish tweaking this. There we go. That looks a lot better. That's how I keep somewhat of a tidy area. I sweep every day just to try and keep the construction mess down. So, y'all want to check out this other garden real quick before we get to work? Check on Cooter and Scooter and Tooter. I don't even know where they are. There's Cooter down there in its corner. And it looks like Cooter's over there. Look how clean that water is. And our grasses have started to come back. Shit. Extend this a little bit. See our grasses, the diachondras coming back. All that was dying off. You can see our grasses took a hit. That's starting to come back. All this diachondra is starting to come back. So, we're dangling like some bitch over here. Let them dangle. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody stopping by. 906 Galaxy. What's up, Galaxy? What's going on? One more. Georgia. No. Appreciate everybody coming by. Jeremy. There we go. Ruins. Yeah, Jays. I'm gonna be in and out of this, chat. I'll try and keep up, but try and keep up. Definitely increase the noise. All we hear now is the waterfall. I can't even hear this bed over here. A little bit. I have to come over here to hear it. This one over here is just rumbling. So we got these drop points. So you can see. We've got these drop points here. This is coming down. We placed that rock. So now this is pouring in, creating a pool on both sides. And then that comes down, creates a pool pocket right here, a pool pocket right here, a pool pocket right here. And all these pockets are what I like to call gold traps. They could be called shit traps. That's where all the shit and poo and all that stuff from the pond, from the fish, all that's going to be sucking up through that. It's going to be coming down through here. It's going to be getting rolled around, trapped in this. The biology is going to set up shop. These are good spots for purple non-sulfur bacteria to set up shop. We come down through here, we got good flow. Air bubbles stay in all the way around. We've got another trap pool right here. Remember we were working on this yesterday, trying to get a little spin going. So I placed a rock right here. And then I've got another one. So what I was thinking is actually, I've got these bigger rocks. So what I could do is, you see how it's, hang on, let me get something. Let me get something we can use. This looks good. This right here. So I'm trying to get it to flow into that hole. Everything's quick. Sit in this hole here. So what I was thinking is if I put something to divert the water up here, a big enough rock to divert the water into this little chute here, maybe put one right here. So you see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get that turn to come just a little bit and create a swirl here. What's going on now? And it's just something to keep playing with, you know? Maybe it's a bigger rock right here. Maybe we stick this one over here. Kind of build up a little spot. Look at that. All kinds of things we could do. Let me just keep on going. Let's see what happens in here. So we just need something bigger right there. Yeah, look at that spin. Look at that spin. That's what we're looking for. So we can do the same up here. We can change the flow simply by moving these rocks up here. So I can do this and change everything. Get different splash. I'll get a different splash zone. I'll extend the splash zone. I'll shrink the splash zone. I can move the log. So all I do is move the log over here just a little bit. That creates a different splash, a bigger splash, more water coming out, less water coming out. It's simple. So that splash, you gotta remember that's gonna be, a lot of that comes right back into the pond here. And some of it ends up in our splash zones along the edges where there is no, creek running. The splash zone is going to keep this moist. So really, we just need to put a little bit of maybe sand, silt, and pea gravel like on the creek right around the edge here to really hold that water. We can spread that sand out a little bit over the soil. That'll wick water over where we want it, and voila. We have water where we don't have to water it. We just have to place that sand, silt, and pea gravel, same stuff that's in the creek over there, right along the edge here, and then extend it over into the soil pocket a little bit, and all that moisture will be caught, wicked across, allowing biology, the life will take over. And the worms will love it. We'll have to be replenished. You'll see it. It'll turn. All this will turn into worm castings. All of this around here over about a course of about the next 6 months to a year. All of this that you see will end up looking like this over here. Turns into worm castings. You see how it extends in, comes on in, and the life, just we don't have to water at all, it just stays moist. And all the critters do the work for us. Oh, he's opening up. Little isopod digging on in. That's aeration right there. All the little babies, different types of isopods, springtails, road beetles, all this stuff just stays wet all the time. And the life in it is insane. You put it under a microscope, and it's crazy. Very hard to see the mites moving around in there, but they're in there. This is the stuff I don't like to touch. I don't like to mess with this stuff. They're worm castings. You got to remember, a worm casting is a tiny little ball. Think of it as a marble. When you stack marbles, you get air pockets. If you were to smash these marbles, those air pockets close up and no longer they turn to mud. And it cannot aerate. And when they can't aerate, the cyanobacteria and everything that's in the creek can't do what it needs to do. See how aerated it is? See how the roots and the grass come up aerating, allowing air and allowing life to get that air. And the more air we get, the more life we get. Then it's all up to the power. We bring the lights in. The plants fuel and push sugars down into the soil, which the microbes can then feed off of. It's a beautiful system. I highly recommend it. We got a sweet potato. I'm not sure where I want to put that. Those things get crazy. I gotta have this accessible. So I'm thinking like right here. If I need to pull it out when it gets too crazy, we'll pull it out. I don't want anything. I'm probably going to do a beans up there. We're going to run the beans up the rock wall. Probably going to have to add rock to the back of the rock wall to make it kind of like a point. The water clarity, a week. it'll probably take about a week to get clear. I can actually tell it's already starting to clean up a little bit. I can see the different colors around the edges. So you're going to get a dark tan in the center, and as it cleans, it'll get kind of a lighter color around the edges. I don't know why it does that, but they all do that for some reason. Like it gets cleaner around the edge first, and then it'll just, all that silt takes a long time to settle. So you gotta remember that silt is like blows in the wind. It's like fine dust. And that's, I mean, imagine if we were trying to put soil in now, everything would just float up to the top. But there's a good 5 inches of sand, pea, silt, a little bit of organic matter mixed in with that silt, like soil, for the roots, for our plants to grip a hold of. And then the next project for this is to set up the DQ. So we've got, I'm debating, I'm thinking about just trashing this DQ. This is an older one, actually it was given to me, to be honest with you. But the problem with it is that I have it on now, and it is filling up. I set at 65. I got the other one set at 65, and it's 65% humidity in here. But we hook a line up right here. But the problem is that I can't get a hose in there because the design of this is so freaking messed up. You can't spin it on there. It's threaded, but you can't, it's too close to the plastic. There's no way to spin a thread on there. It's like the most dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I need to use this instead of the bucket. So I want to run a line out of here and run it into here. In order to do that, I have to raise this up, but this is way down here, which it needs to be, but in order to get this up to that level to where it'll run on a slight angle down, I just have to bring this up, or the table up, get something on this table. I can move this table. It's on wheels. So, got some bukashi here from OK Calyx. Smells like beer and bread. That's bukashi from OK Calyx. Let me tell you, that is the shit. You get that wet, buddy, and it will come to life. The bukashi. Well, skim the foam. No, it's foam stay. Foam is life. All them bubbles, that's all life right there. If I didn't have bubbles, I'd be worried. When I put in lactic acid bacteria, that's what we get. We get bubbles. Nice, big, white, clear bubbles. Is what we want to see. So this hose is definitely, clearly, this, what I was using for this, clearly too big. Too big. So I got to get a, I believe it's 3/4. And that's an inch. No, that's an inch. It could be ½ inch in there, actually. Then again, I'm thinking about just scrapping this whole thing and buying a brand new one like I had over there. Having the same two. Either way, got to raise this up, get the line in, where it'll dump in right here. But we're not in a big hurry for that because it's staying pretty consistent. It's 65% humidity in here with all this water flowing. I'm happy with that. Getting it down to 55 might be impossible, but we don't really have to go to 55. 60, 65 is good for me. And whatever we grow, all we got to do is adjust temperature a little bit. So if we can get, 65% humidity and about 78 degrees, $75 degrees, 76 degrees, 78 degrees, somewhere in that range would be good. Oh yeah, vegetables for sure. Yeah, I've got the herb right here. This is just the basil. This is just number one right here. This is the first plant, and that was just sitting on my kitchen table. My wife got it at Trader Joe's to make dinner last night. Chicken. And I was like, hey, give me that. Let's keep this one going. I'm thinking right up in here. Right on the edge of this line here. Right in here. There we go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Got an extra pot out of it too. I don't throw anything away. Try not to anyway. Got this. I haven't really thought about where I was going to put this right now because I'm still kind of working and adding, but I'm just going to set it right there. Might not. One of those deals, you know what I mean? My potato. What do we do with Mr. Potato Head? Mr. Potato Head. There we go. Don't laugh at my little 3-inch knife. Told y'all. That was for, you can't go into places where, ooh, look at that, with anything more than 3 inches. But like I said before, I can hurt you with 3 inches. So that's my wife. Mr. Potato Head is going in. That's right. State says 3. Yeah, you can do a lot. I don't want no more than that in here, so this will go to the compost outside. Alright, I got, oh, I know what it was. The sand is so cool. This shit is, talk about heavy. This is how much I took out of the creek. Oh, Jesus Christ. On the way to Poland. Hell yeah. Sounds fun. Yeah, the basil's gonna go crazy up there. We're gonna be picking off that every day. So this is a piece of wood. And this is the sand and silt we pulled out of the creek. Look how much moisture still. I just dumped it out, but you dump this out and there's this silt is so compactable, it'll push all the excess water up to the top. Pretty cool. So what I'm going to do with this is finish all this. You can see, so look at the difference. This is not connected. All this over here stayed wet all night long. Okay? Stayed wet, not connected to the creek. This is not connected. Not connected, not connected. See, that's dry, not connected. This down here stays wet all the way to here. So we connect it here, and it will wick water all the way till there. You can see around the edges where it doesn't get water, it dries out on the rock. But it will, if it's connected anywhere, it will wick that moisture right up to that pea and sand and stay moist all the time. And that's irrigation. That's what a drip line does. That's what it keeps the soil moist all the time. The biology can do its thing. This, see here, dried out, not connected. Wherever it's connected, it'll wick. Not connected, dried out. Connected, wick. Same thing over here. So that's the trick. This stuff here is nature's wicking machine. It is a natural irrigation system. Utilize it properly. Action. Simply by connecting the bridges. Pretty cool. Now this will stay all the time. And that's kind of what we're shooting for here. Now the worms and critters and all that stuff are going to run through all of this. This is full of bacteria, full of life. You just couldn't imagine it. If you put it under a microscope, you're going to see things that you wouldn't normally see in soil. And that's okay, because they're decomposers. It's what's decomposing and breaking down the minerals and the sand and the silt. All of this, it's just nothing but it's full of mineral, full of nutrient. It's just locked away in those grains. There's tiny, tiny grains. Some of it's silica, most of it's just broken down organic matter. Look at the black dots. It's all organic matter. And worms will run through the silt and the grit and that organic matter, releasing the nutrient to the soil where the plants can uptake it. And then it's up to the plant. The plant's smart enough to be able to utilize the energy from the sun, taking that sunlight and turning it into sugar, which then feeds the biology, gives the biology the energy it needs to mine the sand and the silt and the clays. So it's actually the plant that is actually doing the miraculous thing here. It's actually taking light, because you got to think, everything comes from the sun. All energy comes from the sun. The only way that biology is living is because of the power of the sun, but also the power of the plant. Because the plant figured out how to turn the sun into sugar. Miraculous. Amazing. We can't even do that. So you tell me somebody who can turn sunlight into sugar, and I'll kiss their ass. Literally. Look at that new leaf. So these things here, these are solar panels. Giant solar panels that are just doing nothing but taking that light and turning it into sugar. Simple. Taking carbon, creating carbon out of light. Pretty cool. Sugar is energy, sugar's carbon, you know, it's all those things, you know, sugar, everything runs on sugar. It's all about power, energy. Everybody wants it. Politicians want it, we want it. You want it, I want it. We all need it. We like to be recognized for it. You know, plant loves it. All about the sun. So these LED Grand Masters, these are the old versions. These are a couple years old, maybe 3 years old. This is the new version. Completely different design. The diodes are different, bigger, producing more light, especially more blue and green light, which the blue is, I'm going to tell you what, just these over here, I can't wait to see what these produce, because these over here produce that blue, you can see it kind of, but over here you see that green as well. You see the green and blue, so it's totally different design. Yeah, sunlight and the sugar. And that's what it is. That's basically what you're doing. Creating carbohydrates. It's all about power, man. All about power. Energy. I mean, when you think about it, that's why we're in Iraq, Iran, that's why we're all over the place. All countries, not just America, all of them. It's whoever gets to it first. It's kind of a race, so to speak. And who can get the most power and get it in the right hands of the right people. And I'm not going into politics here. Trust me. What I'm talking about is the energy coming from that waterfall up there. We could put a little turbine up there. We could do all kinds. We could freaking run probably our fans. Might be able to run a fan or two in here with that power. You know, depending on where we place it. But what I would do was I would put a wheel, some type of suspended wheel. Like if you put a wheel down here in the water, it's on a backflow. But if I put a wheel right here, like say I run a line across here and then put a suspended wheel right here, well, that water spins that wheel constantly, creating energy back to a power box that could then power my fan. So all it would take is a simple stick run across here, like a water wheel. You know, it's that simple. Ancient water wheel, right? But a suspended one, right across that. So instead of running a line box, you know, down where it dumps into the wheel to spin the wheel, this is my line box. The line box runs right to here, and the wheel would be spinning right here. Now that would probably throw some water, depending on how far back we put it. We could put it back here. We could put it up here. We could do a number of things. Maybe put it down here. Oh yeah, the microbes, they'll set up shop. Like I said, it's going to take, it takes a year Probably 2 to 3 years. That's what they say outside in organics. You know, if you're trying to go from synthetics to organics, about 3 years it takes to get a good biome going and get everything repaired. Let the microbes do their thing. You got to think about they're growing. They're building a community down here. So we gotta. It's our job to produce the environment for them to build that community. And in order for them to build that community, they need everything. They need everything. They need a water source. They need the oxygenation. They need the biology in nature to be here. And all of that biology is in this sand and silt because I took it from a natural creek. Therefore, it's all here. We just have to recreate, put it back in its place, and make sure that it has a source like it did. Yeah, that could be something in the future. That would probably be a different design. You know, I didn't design this to do that. I really wasn't thinking about, hooking up water wheels and stuff like that at the time. But in the future, like this isn't the last one I'm going to build. I'm building a house down here at the bottom of the hill here on the property, and I'm going to incorporate a grow kind of like this into my house. And that one will have all the knowledge that I've gained over the last 2 to 3 years of building these two. I'll incorporate it into the one down in the house. And we'll have something really fucking cool down there. That's the plan anyway. This guy's still sitting here. Look how it's got the bubbles already forming around that straw. Those are the microbes. Air beating down on that. Oxygenation, I guess is how you say it. Around that. Pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna zoom out, I guess. Come back here. Still wants to go on down here. Okay, so maybe if we dig in right here a little bit, let's go down a little bit right here. Push this up. Let's see what that does. Still wants to, maybe let's turn this one. Bring it out a little bit more. See that bubble came in? Let's see if it spins. Still wants to spin out. It's kind of like a little gold catch, you know what I mean? I'm trying to create food traps all along. And most of it's going to be trapped up in there. That's where most of our biology, but then down through this little straight through here, we can place rocks in certain areas. But as we place rocks, we raise water table. And if we're going to place a rock, we're going to have to remove some sand, silt, and peat in order to keep the water table down. So I've got these rocks here. We're going to create some turbulence right around this area here, right before we get to. Now all I'm going to do is set these in here. Both sides, kind of push. I'm going to kind of get these to come together. We should speed up. So when it comes through, as we push that water together, as it comes out, it should speed up and create a more of a swirl in the turn. You can see the light going in. So right here, it's coming through. So we turn that. And maybe even bring a bigger rock up in here, like right here. It still wants to. Some of it's going in there though. See the bubbles just coming around it a little bit. You'll hit that rock and bounce off. Come down here and we get that little split right there. Some of it's coming up in there. I think we just need a bigger rock right there. Let's see what we got down in the goodie box. These are some decent ones. I'll tell my wife I got these out of the flower garden. Hand picked. Maybe she wouldn't notice it. The only spot we really have to watch is that spot right there. And we still got a good inch of space. So let's take these out. Look at that curve right there. Kind of like that. I just built this wall out some. See if we can build us a little jetty wall. There's a little turbulence going here. Whoops. By just doing that, look how far up we came. Look how far up we came on that. We went from an inch to a half inch. So like I said, Whatever we put in, we have to take out. Wherever we're slowing up, it's going to backflow. Let's just move that a little bit and see. You can always just remove some of this. Back down. So you can see we're creating those pools, good pools there. Good pool there. Great pool up there. Another pool up there. Probably don't need these here. These are a waste. Create that. I like that though. It's really dropping down now. Whatever happened if I stuck that right there? Ooh, we get another little pool right behind there. I'm going to bring in some sand. Just go up underneath here to hold this up. Hold this up. Extend this on down here. Yeah, appreciate it. Hit that like button and subscribe. Appreciate it, everybody. Big Fruits, Joe. Appreciate Christopher. Thanks, guys. Girls, everybody who's in here. I appreciate everybody. It's fun messing with this stuff. Creating a world. Creating a world. Let's just put that right there. Hold that up. So we can bring in this peat gravel here. Yeah, Jesus. Where did my... Oh, yeah. This ain't my best trial, but it was just laying there saying, pick me, pick me. I don't want to work. than getting it tearing up my freaking hands. This stuff is, especially when you put pea gravel in it, very coarse, very hard on your hands. Not bad if I do say so myself. Yeah. Wicking machine. Wicking machine. We'll get some of that grass in here. I don't think we need too much. Maybe a little right there. Yeah. We don't need any more over there. That's pretty good. I don't know if do we need any right through there maybe? Should we line this? Nah, so tough to tell. I think I'll just leave that right there like it is. I don't want to put, we can always add later. That looks good. And the worms and the critters will come in here and they will move all this stuff around and integrate it into the soil for us. We don't have to do it. Pea gravel can sit on top. Eventually, you know, all that's going to be tacked on top. You know, we're going to be building soil. We're going to be adding soil. So, you know, we have room to add. Plenty of room to build soil over the years. This is a long-term project, not a short-term. This is long-term. I'm thinking years in ahead, not just weeks, months. And if you want to do something like this, I highly suggest that's what you did. You got to think at least 5-10 years ahead. Where do you want to be? Like, what do you want to see? Picture it in your head. What do you want to see? And then we work towards that vision. You know, I saw this in my head. I saw this in my head. And I just worked day here, day there, until I got to where I want it to be. It's not a race, unless you want it to be, which I didn't want it to be. Took my time. It was one time. I mean, it's basically a build it once, and then hopefully it lasts forever type thing. I'm in hopefully my forever home. So I don't plan on moving. Plan on building on this property actually. So where should this go? I'm thinking right over here in this corner. Or maybe up in that corner. But I like my beans. I want my beans up there. Maybe right here. Right beside the creek. Yay. Getting some greenery in here, boys and girls. Greenery. Plant some, I have some diachondra. Oh, breaking out the bag. Breaking out the goodie bag. Got some diachondra seed here. That's diachondra grass. That is, show you. That's this stuff. That's diachondra grass. They look like little lily pads. Like that's diachondra. They don't get, that's as tall as they get. They're great for cover crop, but they do, it will mat on you. Like, so you don't need a lot. Like it will, and what I mean by mat is like it will mat the root. The roots will just be like a mat and literally suffocate everything around it. But we got some from Daga Love. This is from Peter over at Future Cannabis Project. We got some marigolds from him, some catnip, some mullein, some tobacco, shaman tobacco, green cauliflower. Got some of his basil here. It's empty. Swiss chard. Some more tobacco. And then we've got indigo rose tomato. This is some Carolina Reaper. Who wants some of those? Huh? Who wants a Carolina Reaper? If I grew a Carolina Reaper, who would eat one? None of you. None of you. These little Carolina Cross watermelon. Big Zack tomato, we don't want that in here. Mountain Man, we don't want that in here. Big Mac's pumpkin, yeah, we might not want that in here. Here's some carrots. Cosmic purple carrots. Melon. Eggplant. Might want an eggplant. Cucumber, definitely want cucumber. Cauliflower. Cucumber. Some beets. Onion. Asparagus. Broccoli. Celery. Brussels sprouts. Okra. Goodie bag. Peas. Hero peas. Some more progress peas. One more. And some Christmas llama beans. Ooh, one of my favorites. That's it. None of this. We're gonna put melons. We may do a tomato. I gotta get I got some the Carolina Reaper. We do Carolina Reaper? Y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna eat no Carolina Reaper. I know I ain't. Fuck you. I'd fucking die if I ate that shit. But I will grow it. I grew one of these a couple years ago. And I have a buddy of mine who owns a barbecue restaurant up the street, Two Drummers Smokehouse. And John, I said, John, man, Jason, hey, I got these peppers, man. He was like, what are they? I was like, the Carolina Reaper. He was like, nope. He's like, don't even fucking bring that shit in close to my building. What do you mean, man? He's like, dude. He's like, last time we had Carolina Reaper, as soon as that thing hit the pan or anything hot, that oil released, and everybody in the kitchen had to get running out. You need a gas mask to cook with that shit. And I was like, yeah, I know. I mean, my dad wouldn't even eat it. And if my dad won't eat it, I mean, it's some tough stuff. Because he's a spice. He's a spiceaholic. But I grew those. I grew a bush, man. That thing was huge. I mean, every bit as big as cannabis over there. It produced so much damn hot peppers, and I didn't know what the hell. I couldn't eat them. I mean, just touching them. Like, I made the mistake of getting the oil on my hand. Oh my God! Don't get it near your face. I'll tell you that. Do not get it near your face, or your eyes, or your balls. Yeah. No good. No good at all. Oh, it was funny. But we got some choosing to do, We got lots of stuff. Set up some dichondra just along the edges here. We got our peas. Carolina Reaper, I'm not gonna mess with them. Y'all crazy motherfuckers. Got some Christmas lima beans. I love beans, man. I'm gonna grow stuff that I can come in here and actually pull up and eat, or pick and eat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to even cook it. Like, come in here and pick a Brussels sprout and just eat the damn thing. Celery, eat it. Broccoli, just come in here and eat it. Asparagus, eat it. Onion, eat it. Beet, eat it. Cucumber, eat it. Cauliflower, eat it. Another cute Mexican sour. Ooh, that sounds fun. Eggplant, might have to cook that. Carrot, eat it. All that stuff. I don't know if we'll get to the tobacco in here. Chard, nah. Basil, we got. Cauliflower, maybe. Tobacco, no. Mullein, no. Catnip, we don't have a cat. Marigolds. Marigold seed. I might do a marigold in here. Help with the pest. Mullein, Catnip, My peas, gotta have the peas. So we're gonna pick some stuff that we want. And we got some little baby pot. Well, I was going to just direct sow, but then I wouldn't know where I got shit. So I'm just going to put them in little baby pots, sow them in the pots, and then let them sprout. Just set them in here, set the pots in here, and then when they sprout, we'll just pull them out of the pot and set them in our hole. And easy peasy. That way we won't have to go digging too much if something doesn't pop or doesn't, we don't have to worry about anything else. We'll just go from there. I'm not going to get too fucking crazy in here. Why won't this come off me? Alright. So, got all this to pick from. We can actually put some dichondra grass right now. See, I busted the bag a long time ago. Here comes the one-handed seed throw. That's all we need right there. A little dichondra. Put them down in there a little bit, and they will go to town. Got all the water and moisture they could ever want. I'm trying to fix this thing here real quick, sorry. in-person tour. Yeah, we'll get there. Come on down. $50. Come in. $50. You can hang out all day. Get back in the damn bag. Okay, so we got some stuff to choose from. Just gonna keep this over here on the, just leave it laying right here. Why not spread them out? Pick what we want. I had my wife come out here, give me the final okay on what she wants to eat. Pretty sure we're gonna do mostly herbs up there. From up there all the way down into here, be herbs. We can do some beans over there, run a bean pole up over there. I'm gonna do tomato over here, maybe an eggplant, maybe some okra, some carrots. We're gonna go in the center. I was thinking maybe carrots, broccoli. We're gonna do the bigger plants out here in this area here where I can get to them better. And, you know, move them around, do whatever we need to do. It's gonna be like a fucking jungle in here one day. I'm gonna come in here with a machete. Just hack shit down to get in here. I got that covered. Don't think I ain't playing. I ain't playing. Oh, shit. What the fuck have I done? What I've done? We're having a pixel party. I don't know. What is this? I've heard of the movie Pixels. I've seen the movie. Are we having a pixel party? Yeah, you can have all kinds of rooms, mother room. That's the problem with the cannabis. It's it's so quick. It's in and out of here in months. So, the light change. What we're gonna do is we're gonna instead of running 18 hours of light around here, I get we're about 6 a.m. The sun starts coming up around 5:45, 6 a.m. and it goes down about 8:30. Completely dark by 9 during the peak summer season. So that's what, 12, 13, 14, that's 15 hours, 14 and a half hours of light pretty much all day. When it goes down to about 12 to 11 is when everything starts flowering. So what I'm going to do is just set up the room, the lights, and have them run for 14 and a half, 15 hours probably do 15. And that'll be for the cannabis, and that'll be for the food. It'll run 15 hours through veg, and then when we flip, it'll run 12, possibly 11. And that will be enough light change to turn flowers. We're going to have some of these over here that will just flower and go straight to flower anyway. Doesn't matter if we're running 12 hours or 14 hours. When they get to a point, they'll just flower. I have grown tomatoes. I've grown a couple of other veggies with cannabis before. There was I got flowers, I got bloom, I got tomatoes. Nothing really changed, with the tomato sitting right next to the cannabis. And I'm talking about a light cycle. The light cycle doesn't seem to matter when it comes to vegetables, as long as you're not running, you run 18 hours of light for these vegetables, we would have a shit show in here. I'm telling you. You think that grows fast? This stuff is going to take off. It'll grow crazy fast. A month's time, we'll be picking tomatoes. We'll be picking, I mean, it'll get crazy in here. So the lights, they're going to stay on the same cycle, because I've had that question multiple times. It's like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. As long as we're getting that 15 hours a day and then back it down to 12 for the flowering cycle, we're just mimicking the cycle of nature is all we're doing. We're going to make the plants think it's wintertime and autumn's coming and it's time to produce flower. And they will. They're that smart. As we were talking about how smart the plants are, they're not dumb. We don't have to do anything, really, but keep the environment right and keep the lights right and don't be a moron. It's the biggest thing. Don't be a moron. Got a nice little gap, little flow going, new little area right there. We'll let it sit here. It's creating a pool there. You see that little pop that's pushing that sand up in there, creating that little pool pocket there? That's a gold trap. Some of that, what doesn't turn, will go up into that little gold trap there. That'll be a good spot to put like a plant or something, like grass. Let grass grow up in there. All this creek grass that will grow. So we're going to take a little bit of this. That shit's in there. We can always just pull a little bit of it out. Stick it in there. That's all I need right there. Voila. That will root. May take it a while, but it will root. I don't know how. You know what I just did? I probably just killed that piece of grass because I'm putting it in a system that is not cycled yet. But that grass right there is tough. So we'll see. It's not like it's going to hurt anything. I wonder if Digger's over here today. Oh, no, he's up in his cave over there. See him up in his cave. 2 little feet down there. That's his spot. If he's not down here wanting food, he's up in that cave up there. Freaking monstera. Oh yeah, we're going to be transferring biology. All the worms are going to come from over here. We don't need to buy anything. Like our springtails, rove beetle, all the beneficial bigger critters like those, springtails and rove beetles, we're just going to take this and put it right over here. And they will go to town. We won't have to do anything. They'll probably transfer on their own, just from the little, that's the bridge is right there. So the terrestrial bridge right here. This is where we're going to add soil to this. So we'll add soil, bringing this up. Get us a log that lays down in here, kind of flat. He'll be able to roll up on there. He'll be able to come on up here, and we'll be able to come right on up into here. This rock here moves. I just have it sitting here to hold the soil up. But this will be moved, and then that will connect So this will connect to that, but not to, this section. I don't want Cooter and Scooter being able to, well, they'll be able to get up. The Cooter and Scooter can come right through Marco's Pass here. See? Come through Marco's Pass right here. So that's dedicated to Marco Brown from Microbes by Marco. Marco is growing. Check him out. But these turtles can come right up here. They sit right here on this. I see them all the time sitting right here. They can come through Marco's Pass here. They'll come up, right into the pond if they want to. I doubt they'll ever do that, but they can. Digger, do the same thing. You gotta come up in here. He'll probably make it into here. Who knows? They do like water, but they don't like really hang out in it. They like to bury, that's why he's called Digger, because they like to bury themselves in the mud around creeks and ponds. So they're not in the pond necessarily, but they love to be around the edges of it, where that water is, and that it's easy to find food. Worms in the sand and silt, all that stuff. Real easy for them to dig around in and get that moisture on their shell. So we planted some dichondra. We planted a little star moss, a little piece of grass, our basil, and our sweet potato. I don't know if I should plant all of that. I mean, should I put it all the way down in there? Let's just put it all down in there. Got this. I've never actually grown a potato from the spud. So do I bury the whole spud or leave this up? Since I don't know, I'll do half and half. We'll do half and half. Then we'll just give it a little bit of, you know what, I got a better idea. All right. We got some green. Look at that green. Oh, and we planted our, whatever the fuck that is. But yeah, we got some green going. Completely bury the potato, even when it's spudded already. Is that? Yeah, they make shoots. Yeah, I know they make shoots. Do I need to clip these now? Or do I just bury the whole shoot and everything? I'm not sure. I think we'll be fine just like that. If it wants to grow and live, it will grow and live. And it'll probably be crazy. I probably just did the worst thing. I'll probably take it over the whole damn bed and I'll never get them out. Have to pull up the whole damn thing. I wouldn't do that. I love sweet potatoes though. It's like one of my favorite things. Grandma used to make sweet potatoes during Thanksgiving, boy. Whew. God, Jay. Sweet potatoes so good for you too. Good for your animals, dogs, cats. Sweet potatoes. Notice the sugar. I love talking about the sugar in the sweet potato. Let's see this. I want to just put this right here. Just make sure this is not going to erode away on us. Another nice little pocket forming right there. Cool. Yeah, we've been an hour and a half this morning. What time is it? I guess, well, I started at 10, so maybe it's 11:30, huh? I appreciate that. Is it Mitchie? Mitchie Danksta? I like that. Mitchie Danksta. Full ring, we baked them. Oh yeah, dude, I love sweet potato, man. I appreciate everybody who's taking the time to compliment or comment today and like. And if you don't mind liking and sharing, that'd be awesome too. Helps the algorithm, you know how it is. Of course, I'm not really concerned with the algorithm, but the more people we can get to look at this, the better off we'll be. We're sponsored now by APSU Super Soil, APSU Living Organic Soil. It's APSUsoil.com. Here's the code. Where's the code at? There's the bigger code. This is Super Soil for cannabis, but that's his code. APSUsoil.com. So get us a banner one day. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to be, recognized a little bit for all your hard work, But this is just the beginning. Wait till it gets crazy like that over there. And then we're gonna have see all that green? That's what this is gonna look like. Except it's gonna be like, we won't be able to walk around in this summer. Yellow Skunk Ponds. I got another channel, Yellow Skunk Pond Gardens is the other channel. I don't really post a whole lot over there just because YouTube is strict on kind of stupid shit. And I have enough going on with this account and my Instagram. I really don't do anything else but Instagram and this YouTube channel here. Yellow Skunk Pond Gardens. I did start to kind of record me building this, but then I found out that Yellow Skunk Farms has got the following. I've been building that for forever, and why start a new one? Just build on Yellow Skunk Farms. It's just more of a hassle, more pain in the ass, more shit to do, and I already have enough shit to do. This is going to take a lot of time, a lot of my time. This is just, once we get food in here, maintaining that, just stewarding that now is pretty simple. But unless we crash the system, we're nursing back from the crash. I think we've done pretty well. Everything looks really good over there. So we recovered from that. Now we're going to be planting over here. And all the things that we know we hit over there, like the fungus gnats, the flies, the stages of succession that are going to take place, and the whole system as a whole, will take about 6 months. The water will take about a week to 2 weeks to clear up, and that really depends on how much root mass we get in there. We can but really, it just takes time. It's a time thing. It's a biology thing. They got to do their job. And they're doing it right now with all that bubble action that you see going on. They're working right now. So, with that being said, I think an hour and a half is good for today. And I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. We really don't have much else tomorrow. I'll try and do a live tomorrow. I like doing the lives now. I get a lot more action, a lot more views. I'm still going to do my morning video, but I'll just shorten my morning videos like 10 minutes or so, and then try and do a live around 10 a.m. We also have a new show coming up I'm going to be presenting called Soil Discoveries with Agro Soil with Mo. So we've decided that we are going to do that. We're going to do it Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be Thursdays at 6 o'clock, 6 to 8. And we will be looking at soil through a microscope. We'll be looking at my soil, his soil, other people's stuff. We'll be analyzing it, seeing what's good, what's bad, trying to discover new microbiology that's beneficial. And that's why we're calling it Soil Discoveries. But yeah, we're going to do that. The Yellow Skunk Farms presents Soil Discoveries with I Grow Soil. Mo and Josh and Mo. Should be fun. Me and Mo have a good time together. Always fun talking with him. I bring he brings the smarts. I bring the little bit of fun and stupidity. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not as smart as him, and I can build things, I can create things, but I have no idea really what. I mean, I can't say I have no idea. I have limited knowledge on the very depths of like microbiology and how like light works and how, you know, water. There's different phases of water, stages of water, all these things. It goes so deep. It really does. Deeper than you could probably imagine. But that's why we're going to start a show, and it should be fun. At least we'll get to see some cool stuff and what's really going on in the soil itself, instead of just looking at the top. What we can't see, we can actually go in depth and see what's actually happening in the soil. We've got the technology now, we've got the information now, so why not put it to good use? So yeah, that'll be Thursdays at 6 o'clock. We're not doing it this week, but we're going to try and start next week. So we just needed a little bit more time. We just came up, I just mentioned it to him over the weekend, so we're going to get that started, and hopefully people enjoy that. I know I'm going to enjoy it either way. So, with that being said, guys, I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday. Check us out on Let's Be Buds tonight. That's right. Let's Be Buds is coming back on the air. We're going to be doing that Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, I believe. We went from 9 to 8, and yeah, so I'll be on that show as well from 8 till I think 10 on Wednesdays, and then we'll have a show on Thursdays from 6 to 8. So busy. With that being said, guys, I appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.